So today we're going to talk about some geometry basics and do some basic terminology and some basic figures and shapes that you would deal with within geometry. The first one I want to talk about is an angle. And to draw an angle, you simply would just come here and here. Basically, you have two rays that meet at a vertice. Now, an angle can be obtuse, an angle can be acute, an angle can be straight, an angle can be right. Hopefully these are all things you've heard before. Next we're going to talk about vertical angles. Now when we talk about vertical angles, you actually want to have two lines that meet somewhere in the middle. And the vertical angles, which are also called opposite angles, would be here and here. Or they could be here and here. Now, what I've done in marking them like this means that they're congruent. Because the important thing for you to remember about vertical angles is that vertical angles are congruent. I also sometimes call them kissing angles because they kind of look like two fish kissing. Next, we want to talk about an angle bisector. So I'm going to draw another angle. Again, with my two rays meeting at my point. Now, to be a bisector, it's got to go in the middle, and it's going to cut the angle into two equal parts. Bisect means bi meaning two, sect meaning two parts or sections. Okay, another word that we use a lot is supplementary. Supplementary or supplementary angles mean that they add up to equal 180 degrees. So typically when you're looking at a supplementary angle, you're going to have a line and it's going to have an angle going off. So that if we had to work with this, we could say that this angle plus this angle equaled 180. So if I labeled them 1 and 2, in the case of supplementary angles, we could say that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. And this is how we make an angle symbol. So let's talk about complementary angles. Supplementaries meant they added to 180. Complementary means they add to equal 90. So I'm going to draw my right angle, put my little box there. It's only a right angle if it has the box. And I can draw the line anywhere because it's not a bisector this time. It's actually making angles. And if I put my 1 and my 2 here, this time we will say that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. Oh, I forgot my degree sign here. So supplementary is 180 degrees or a straight line. Complementary is 90 degrees or a right angle. The next thing I want to talk about is a midpoint. Let's say we had a line. The midpoint is exactly what it sounds like. It's a point in the middle of that line. We could call it point A or anything we wanted to. So these are some basic geometric terms. Angles, vertical angles, angle bisectors, supplementary angles, complementary angles, and midpoints. Now in your notes there are 7 questions dealing with what we've just talked about. I'd like you to answer those and we'll go over them in class tomorrow.